Believe it or not, traditionally summer is actually a slower time to buy or sell a home.
I was surprised by this.
Yeah, I think it's spring is the really hot season, but not the summer of 2016. According to the Minneapolis Area Association of Realtors, the average price of a home in the Twin Cities, $236,826, which is the second highest monthly median since they started keeping records.
Okay, so it's a hot summer on the real estate market. There are a lot of questions when it comes to buying or selling a home, so luckily we know where to go for the answers. Here with our real estate report from DeRoche Realty Group and Coldwell Banker Burnett, we welcome back Julie and Daniel DeRoche. Nice to see you guys.
Hey.
All right,
We love when they can take a break from just signing deals to come see us.
No, but their phones are up in the top row of the audience right now, and they're probably buzzing, and they're going to go back and wheel and deal right after.
How many voicemails
makes
are you
me
going to have
nervous.
by the time we're done with this? 10?
In
20?
an hour, 3,
That's pretty good.
5.
Okay.
You should have inflated that.
Yeah, you should have turned it up, but we'll let it slide. Okay, here we go. First one, this is a Facebook question, so we wanted to find out what are the questions that you have when it comes to buying or selling. Melissa asks, whose responsibility is it to make sure that a newly remodeled home was actually done by a licensed contractor and was permitted work? Melissa purchased a flipped house only to find nothing was up to code, was not done by a licensed contractor. Julie, that sounds like a bit of a snafu.
Julie, what do you do?
It's a tough question. I feel bad for Melissa.
Yeah.
So the seller normally in a traditional sale would disclose if they didn't pull any permits. Most investors don't disclose anything when they sell the home.
Oh my gosh. So who do you need to ask?
You need to ask, you have to have a good inspection done, so you have to ask your inspector.
Okay.
So you want to make sure that you have a reputable, good inspector take a look at the home and look for all those things.
Okay, so what do you do though if they come, they do the inspection, and they find out, in fact, a lot of things were not permitted, but you
Yep.
kind of like the house, but you also know you're incurring some level of risk, I suppose. Then what do you do?
I would recommend that buyer not to move forward
Really?
because they're going to have issues if they don't fix those when they go to sell the house.
Or try hard to negotiate.
Yeah.
So try to say, okay, because this wasn't done up to code or up to par, I wanted a better deal on the house.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
your inspector tells you there's 10 grand worth of wiring problems that nobody knew about or they were trying to hide, try to negotiate the price down 10 grand or something like that.
So that's an interesting question to be sure to ask your inspector. What were the permits that were pulled?
And you can call the city and check. So if you are worried that maybe they didn't get pulled, you can always call the city and they have a list of what inspections or permits were pulled.
You know what the trouble is though? By the time you get an inspection done, you're so in
I
love with
know.
the idea
I
of moving,
know.
you're like, oh, who cares?
I know.
Emotional attachment.
Yeah.
That is true. Okay, let's move on to the next question. So here it is. I'm ready to purchase a home. What is the first step? Okay, Daniel, what do you have to do before you do anything else?
Well, opinions are going to vary on this. Some people are going to say talk to a lender first. I'm going to say talk to a realtor first. You, of course, find
That's
the right
because
realtor.
you're a realtor,
Yeah. Well, but I think you want a realtor to give you, when you talk about neighborhoods and different prices and stuff, really understand what you're looking for first, walk through the whole process, and then a good realtor should have a really good lender to connect you with.
Okay.
And then, of course, once you talk to that lender, get pre-approved, make sure your budget matches what you want, and make sure that all makes sense. But you really want to sit down with a realtor and talk with them first and just get everything in line.
You also mentioned have them set up an MLS search. Can you explain what that means?
Well, there's a lot of different search engines out there that you can search for real estate, but a lot of them aren't updated as timely as one might think. So setting up an actual search on what we as realtors use, the North Star MLS, is the most accurate site. So having that properly set is going to save them a lot of stress. This morning I talked to a client. She found 2 homes online she wanted to see. I pulled them up. They were sold weeks ago.
No
really?
way,
Yeah,
but
bummer.
those
Very
other
stressful.
websites just weren't updated.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right, here comes another question. Boy, this is me. Can I store all of our clutter and just stuff that's in our closets in the storage area, maybe also in the garage when I list? Can we just kind of tuck it away,
Well,
Julie?
I've been in houses that I've looked at and I open the garage and you can be like, oh, here's where it all is. All right, so Julie, what do you say?
No.
No!
Then where do you
Absolutely
put
not.
it? What are you supposed to do with all that
You can
stuff?
get a storage unit.
Okay.
You can purge and get rid of some stuff.
That's
Because
a
you're really
good
going to need
thing.
that. Yeah. But the seller has to remember that when the buyer sees something like that, when they see a storage room that's full of boxes and stuff, what that buyer's thinking is, oh gosh, there's not going to be enough room for my stuff in this house.
Really?
Because I would think that someone would look and say, oh, okay, well, look, this is an example of storage.
Look at all the
and how you
stuff
can
they
use
fit
it.
in there.
Yeah,
So
we can
this
bring our stuff
closet,
here.
we think,
Not
not
big
a good
enough.
example.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's never going to show someone that it's big enough. Oh, look at that.
So you want it nicely organized. You want all the pants together, the shirts together.
But you don't want it completely cleared
No.
out. It's a good idea to have some stuff in there.
Yeah, because people want to see someone living in the house and that they're storing their things in the house, but you just want it to be organized and look like there's going to be enough room for those buyers.
You might be a
items.
pack rat, and if your stuff is
Yeah.
everywhere and the people looking at it, maybe they don't have as much stuff, but now they think their stuff's not even going to fit in the house.
Oh my gosh, what's happening here?
This is a utility storage room in the basement, and it's full of stuff.
You can't even see the foundation.
Did you go into my basement?
There's probably a water heater there somewhere. I
It's
just
right in
can't
there.
see
There's
it.
my laundry. Oh, wow. A little rug addition in the basement. That's a fun tip.
Yeah, warms it up, and they still have stuff. You can see that they have things, but they're organized nicely.
And
I
you
hear-
guys have a moving company who will store stuff too?
Yeah, so they'll come, they'll pack it up for you, take it, they store it until you're ready to do your big move, and then they incorporate it into the big move.
Ooh, that's nice.
All right, look, you know, when you're selling a home, you have people coming in, you have open houses, people are scheduling viewings. Can you stay at home when you have, you know, a viewing that's
Can you
all
leave the
scheduled?
dog there?
Or can you just say, look, I'll be in my bedroom?
What do you think?
I'll be in the closet.
Let me know if you have any questions.
You're stored in the closet. Wouldn't that be wonderful?
I'm
But-
just taking a nice bath. Daniel, what do you say? Can you be home?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
No, the buyers really want that time to feel free to talk, for starters, as they're walking around.
Can
They're
you
going to
believe they chose this granite? Yeah.
Exactly. Well, they want to feel comfortable, and if you're there, they're not going to say what they're feeling to their realtor, and they're not going to share their feelings with each other, and they're just going to want to leave. So you want them really comfortable. You want, like, I think we talked about this in one of the previous shows. You want the house 70 degrees, blinds open, lights on, no pet food around. You want them to really have a great experience. And if you're there walking them through and going, here's the bathroom, it's just weirding people out. They want to look on their own.
We checked out a house that had a crock pot going, and it smelled delicious. Is that kind of weird? Were they trying to win us over with scents?
They were.
Yeah.
I
probably.
showed a house yesterday that had apple pie baking. in
Okay,
the
see,
oven.
that's good.
Come on.
Crock pot can go the wrong way, though, because you have a vegetarian walk in your house and you got a big roast cooking. It could backfire on you.
Here's my two quick closing points on how we bought a house. We bought it, the owner was there when we did the viewing, and we did it via FaceTime. We were in New Mexico, and my sister walked around with a phone. I don't recommend that necessarily, but it all worked out very nicely.
No, this is good advice, you guys. Thank you so much. So we have a link to the DeRoche Realty Group with Coldwell Banker Burnett on our website. And if you want to maximize the chances of getting the home you want or selling yours for top dollar, they would be more than happy to have a one-on-one meeting with you at no cost. These houses are going fast.
And if it's your first time, Daniel will get weepy talking to you just about like the real estate process, and he just wants to
Very
partner
emotional.
with you.
Help is
He's a
hard.
sap, guys. Visit TwinCitiesLive.com for more info. Big thanks to DeRoche Realty Group for sponsoring our show.
See you guys soon.
Thank you.
All right, ladies, time to pull out that deflated item from your basement.